Welcome to MTG-PORTAL, and today we're talking about Damia, Sage of Stone, in the E.D.H deck tech format. As promised, this is our first budget E.D.H deck tech build on our channel. A couple points that I want to bring to you briefly. This is not a cap on the deck. Price-wise, what it is stating that every card minus your commander will be $5 or less. If you haven't already subscribed, please click that button above. If you haven't liked the video, please make sure you do that. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting us, and I hope you enjoyed the content.
So we've got three colors in this deck: green, blue, and black. Green and blue are your majority colors, so you got 7 of each of those. Black you got a splash of, so you only got 3 of them. Pretty easy to fish those out with all the cards in this deck, but starting off with Terramorphic Expanse and Evolving Wilds to get those cards out, and also really good for landfall triggers in this deck. So there's a lot of dual lands in this deck. For budget constraints, obviously, we don't want any card in the deck over $5, so every dual land that you see in this deck is anywhere from like $1 to $2. There's a couple in there that's like maybe 3 or 4. But for all consensus purposes, it serves the deck really well. You find the colors that you need really easily, and you pretty much are set with whatever color mana you need. And to finish off with lands that'll fix your colors that you need: Command Tower, Opulent Palace, and Sunken Hollow, obviously. Sunken Hollow is awesome because of all the basic lands you'll be fishing out. Cephalo Coliseum, Hallmark Depths to fix your draw in your hand. Reliquary Tower, there's a lot of card draw obviously in this deck. White Woodlands, Bajuka Bog, Rogue Passage, also very useful in this deck. So these next cards are pretty key cards in this deck, not only to get the deck going faster with the lands that you're getting out, but also there are a few landfall trigger cards in this deck that'll really tip the scales in the late game to help you just finish out the game if you need to. And so to help you get the cards you need, obviously some cheaper ones: Brainstorm, Preordain, Lindell's Vault, also Factor Fiction, and a couple tutors. Again, ideally there'd be better tutors, but nothing in this deck is over $5. Butter and Blood's really good in this deck with the sacrifice ability. Combos really well with Dictative Erebos and Butcher Malakir, which we'll talk about later. Black Sun Zenith you can use more than once. Cyclonic Rift, obviously given in any blue deck. So we have a few graveyard recursion cards: Treasure to Find, Recollect, and Praetor's Council. I specifically love Praetor's Council, especially for late game. Just pull out all the stuff that you were using before and just go at it again. And no maximum hand size, regardless of what else you're doing. Awesome. Clutch of the Undercity I use for a tutor, for whatever I need. Counter Squall, another tutor. another counter. Scour from Existence, awesome against guys. And Urban Evolution, because again, I like to play more lands than I'm supposed to. Kiora and Vraska, awesome Planeswalkers in this deck, and Kiora I specifically love, again, because I love playing lands. Going into artifacts, Soul Ring needs no introduction nor reasoning, it's just there, period. Elixir, very good card late game when you just want to reuse your whole library again and just draw stuff out again. Swiftfoot Boost to protect your creatures. Going into enchantments, more card draw stuff: Ristic Study, Sultai Ascendancy to fix your draw. Mana Bond, very, very good in Damia, especially since you get to, with the landfall triggers, dropping all your lands, and then you get to draw your hand up to 7 again. I mean, that's awesome. Arcane Melee, a lot of instants and sorceries. Yeah, it helps your opponents too, but with the speed that this deck's going to be going, it's not going to matter. Dictative Erebos, just to kind of even the playing field, and Heartless Summoning. It's a few creatures in this deck, so it's going to be nice to play them for cheaper. Sakura Tribolder and Coiling Oracle, good ramp cards, and also good card draw. And of course Thassa, who doesn't like to scry. Also a couple spot removal cards. These cards also work really well with Deadeye Navigator, which is going to be mentioned later on. Speaking of the devil, there he is, with his good old brother Peregrine Drake. Again, once you get these 2 cards out, it's kind of game, since you go infinite with any other ETB effects that you have on the board. I love the Primordial cards, just because I like using other people's cards against them. It makes things so much more fun, because it just makes them even more mad. And Thragtusk, I love life gain, and I love getting more creatures, and just more combos with the Deadeye Navigator. A couple more ETB cards paired with Deadeye Navigator and Peregrine Drake if you want to go infinite. Counter spells that can get obnoxious. Arcumancer to get your own spells back, and Frost Titan to tap down your opponent's board. Pretty cool stuff. Malimo, Marrow Sorcerer, and Disciple Ball is probably my favorite combo in this deck, because Malimo, you're getting a lot of lands out, and it makes it even bigger. So with Disciple Bolus, you're drawing more life and drawing more cards. Phyrexian Jester, It just gets rid of your opponent's threats, including Avacyn. But you can't go wrong with that card. These two landfall creatures are probably my favorite creatures in the whole deck. A lot of, like I said before, a lot of ramp cards get mana out really fast and more lands than once. It just wins the game real quick. And Butcher Malakir, great pact on the stick. What's not to like about him? I really love Psychosis Crawler in this deck, because especially if you're dropping your hand with mana bonds, you're drawing a whole new 7, making your opponents take 7. And of course, if you want to use Clever Impersonator to make another Psychosis Crawler, they're taking 14 instead. And Spirit Monger for just another big nasty creature for your opponents to deal with. Lorthos the Tidemaker, really cool card. I love tapping down the opponent's board and just making them just sit on stuff they can't use. And we've got a couple lieutenants just to beef up the big old creatures that you already have. And it's just a stampede of creatures that just will win you the game. As always, thank you for watching our videos and subscribing if you haven't already. Please like the video, leave comments of what you'd like to see or any suggestions that you can think of as far as budget builds, making this deck better. Whatever comes to mind, we're open to anything. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.